Hello everyone, myself Vinay Kumaram. I am pursuing PhD in physics. So in this particular YouTube channel, I will be teaching physics, chemistry and mathematics starting from 8th standard till 12th standard. So if you want to learn physics, chemistry and mathematics, then you have to subscribe to my channel. So in my previous video, I had started the new chapter, the second chapter in 9th standard mathematics, that was on polynomials. And I have given most of the introduction part of this particular chapter in my previous video. So you can refer that video for the introduction of this particular chapter. So after that introduction, we will now look into exercise 2.1 in this particular video. Coming to the first question in this particular exercise 2.1, here they are asking, they have given certain algebraic expression in this particular question and they are asking to find out which are all the polynomials in one variable. So here you have to define which are all the polynomials in one variable. So that means polynomials which has only one variable in it. So those polynomials can be known as polynomials in one variable, and you have to identify those particular polynomials in this first question. So coming to the first expression in this first question, here you have 4x square minus 3x plus 7 as the polynomial. So here you can clearly see in this 4x square you have x, and in this minus 3x you have x, and you have a constant that is 7. So that means here only one variable is there in this entire polynomial. So this is a polynomial in one variable. So this is polynomial in one variable. So instead of writing polynomial in one variable all the time, I'll just put tick mark in front of this particular first expression in first question. Now coming to the second expression in this first question, here you have y square plus root 2. So here also you can see only one variable is there in this polynomial. So this is also polynomial in linear, polynomial in one variable. So coming to the third expression in this first question, here you have 3 root t plus t root 2. So here this particular expression is not at all a polynomial, because here root t means it is nothing but t power minus t power 1 by 2. So that means here in the power position of this t you have 1 by 2, which is not an positive integer, which is not a whole number. So that means only these variables, only it can take whole numbers as its powers. That means starting from 0 it can take only positive integers. So here you have 1 by 2, which is not a integer, which is not a whole number, it is a rational number. So that's why this particular expression itself is not a polynomial. You can say here t is there, here also t is there, so only one variable is there, so this can be the polynomial in one variable. No, in the first place itself, this particular expression is not a polynomial. So this is not a polynomial and it is not a polynomial in one variable at all. So there is no question of telling polynomial in one variable or not, because here this expression is not at all a polynomial. Now coming to the fourth question in this particular first question, here you have y plus 2 by y. Here also this particular expression you can write as y plus 2 pi power minus 1. So that means here you are having a negative integer for this particular y, for this particular variable. So that's why this is also not a polynomial. So if it is not a polynomial, then it cannot be a polynomial in one variable. So now coming to the fifth question, or the fifth expression in this particular first question, here you have x power 10 plus y cube plus t power 50. Here this is a polynomial because power is a positive integer. So here you can see 10, 3, 50 is there. So whole number is there as the power. But so this can be a polynomial. But here you can clearly see x is there, y is there, and t is there. So that means different variables are there. So that's why this is also not a polynomial in one variable. Of course, this is a polynomial, but this is not a polynomial in one variable. Now coming to the second question in this particular exercise, here they are telling you to write the coefficients of x square in the expressions which they have given in this particular second question. So coming to the first expression in this particular second question, here you have 2 plus x square plus x. So here you can clearly see x square has 1 as its coefficient, because x square you can write this as 1 into x square. So that means 1 is the coefficient of this particular x square. So the answer for this particular first question is 1. So this 1 is the coefficient. I'll just write coeff of x square in this particular first question. Coming to the second expression in the second question, here 2 minus x square plus x cube is there. Here you can clearly see minus x square is there. So minus x square means minus x square, you can write this as minus 1 into x square. So the coefficient of minus x square is minus 1. So the coefficient of this second expression is means the coefficient of x square in this particular second expression is minus 1. Now coming to the third question in this particular second question, in this third question, in this third expression, you have pi by 2 x square plus x. So here also you can see x square has pi by 2 as its coefficient. So pi by 2 is the coefficient of this particular pi by 2 x square. Now coming to the fourth expression in this particular second question, here you have root 2 x minus 1. So here what is the coefficient of x square? Here there is no x square at all. So if there is no x square means here you can just imagine that this particular x square is multiplied with 0. So that means 0 into x square is equal to 0. So that means this entire term will be vanishing in this particular polynomial. So that means 0 will be the coefficient of x square in this particular fourth question. So 0 is the coefficient of x square of this fourth expression in second question. Coming to the third question, here you have a question where give one example each of a binomial of degree 35 and a monomial of degree 100. So that means here you should give a binomial expression and that should have degree 35, and you should give a monomial expression which has degree equal to 100. So that means power of a particular variable should have 35 and 100. So now we will look into this particular example. So for a binomial, you should have only two terms. So now I will take x power 35 plus x power 17. So now I will take x power 35 plus x power 17. So here you can see only two terms are there. So because only two terms are there, this can be known as binomial. And the highest power is 35 among x power 35 and x power 17. So that's why degree of this particular polynomial is 35. So degree of this particular polynomial is 35. So like this you can come up with your own examples for this particular third question. So they have asked one more question in this third question. Now you have to find a monomial with degree 100. So simply you can take x power 100. So here x power 100 itself is a monomial because only one term is there, and the degree of this particular variable is 100, which is the highest power. So degree of this particular expression is equal to 100. So that means this is a monomial with degree 100 and this is a binomial with degree 35. So you can come up with more number of examples for this particular monomial. So now you can consider y power 100, or you can consider b power 100, or you can consider t power 100. So all these monomials have degree equal to 100. So here also you can come up with more and more examples. Coming to the fourth question, here you have to identify the degree of the polynomials which are given in this particular fourth question. So in the first polynomial is 5x cube plus 4x square plus 7x. So in this particular polynomial, which variable, so that is you have x as the variable, which particular term has, in which term the x has the highest power. In this particular term, that is 5x cube, x has the highest power, that is 3. So this 3 will be the degree of this particular polynomial. So degree of this particular polynomial is equal to 3. Similarly, coming to the second polynomial in this fourth question, here you have 4 minus y square. So here this particular y is there. So here 4 means it is nothing but 4y power 0 minus y square is there. So that means this particular minus y square. So that means this particular y has the highest power. So this power you have to consider as the degree. So that means degree of this 4 minus y square is equal to 2. Now coming to the third polynomial in this particular fourth question, here you have pi t minus root 7. So here t have power 1. So this is the highest power in this particular polynomial. So this degree of this particular polynomial is equal to 1. Now coming to the fourth question in this particular third question, here you have 3. So only 3 is there, means this is nothing but a particular variable. We can consider x power 0. So because x power 0 becomes 1, so 3 into 1, again you will get 3. So that means here 3x power 0. 3 means it is nothing but 3x power 0, or you can take 3y power 0, or you can take 3z power 0. Any variable you can consider. And the highest power of this particular variable in this polynomial is 0. So that's why degree of this particular polynomial, that is degree of 3, is equal to 0. So degree for this particular polynomial is 0. Coming to the fifth question, here you have to say whether the given polynomials are linear, quadratic or cubic. So now coming to the first polynomial in fifth question, here you have x square plus x. So here clearly you can see that the highest degree of this polynomial is equal to 2. So that means this polynomial is a quadratic polynomial. So if degree of a particular polynomial is equal to 2, then that particular degree, so that particular polynomial is quadratic polynomial. So in the second polynomial in this fifth question, you have x minus x cube. Here you can clearly see the degree of this particular polynomial is 3. So that means this is a cubic polynomial. Now coming to the third polynomial in this fifth question, here you have y plus y square plus 4. Here you can see degree of this particular polynomial is 2. So this is a quadratic polynomial. And now coming to the fourth question in this fifth question, you have 1 plus x, and 1 plus x means it is 1 plus x power 1. So degree of this particular polynomial is 1. So this is a linear polynomial. So now coming to the fifth question in this particular fifth question, here you have 3t. So 3t means here t power 1 is there. So degree of this polynomial is 1. So this is also a linear polynomial. Now coming to the sixth question in this particular fifth question, that is r square. So here you can see degree of this polynomial is 2. So this is also a quadratic polynomial. So this is also a quadratic polynomial. Now coming to the seventh question, here in the seventh question you have 7x cube. So here degree of this particular polynomial is 3. So this is a cubic polynomial. So now I have solved all the questions which are there in this particular exercise 2.1. So the remaining concepts which are there in this particular polynomial chapter I will be discussing in my next videos. So until then, if you want to learn more physics, chemistry and mathematics starting from 8th standard till 12th standard, then you have to subscribe to my channel. Please do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned with my channel. Thank you.